So say again. So you.
What is Kasina meditation?
And you found something on Wikipedia just as we were talking.
Or any site, WikiHow or.
Yeah. Did it make sense what you were reading?
Oh, yeah. Sort of. Yeah.
Because the meaning of the word is also whole, WHOLE. Because it also refers to the state of the observer in the mind, the observing mind. When the observing mind isn't fragmented and split off into the future and the past and here and there and other things and trying to do two things at once, when it's complete, that's also kasina. But kasina refers to an item like a disc that you hold and then you stare at for a long time, then you close your eyes and you hold it in your mind. That thing's called a kasina. But once you're also able to hold the mental image in your mind, that's also called a kasina. But if it's a disc, it's one thing, but making it into a sphere gives it an extra dimension, well, literally an extra dimension. So it's basically like visualizing a sphere, like as if there's a planet, you're walking around your own personal little planet in front of you there, and then just making it, firstly there's the attention and the effort to do that, which suspends being able to distractedly think about other things and get focused on it. And then just get more and more absorbed on it. The ability to be able to hold it in the mind. Only a mind which is relatively stable and relatively tranquil can do that. So it's a way of creating a tranquil, stable mind. And then it's a simple object as well. It's not complicated. Like if you think about, me and my CV, or what I'm going to do in the week. Those are complicated. They're multi-proliferating things. Well, this is a unifying, simplifying object, and then the primary elements just give the brain also something to work on, like something solid, with form that's got weight, and it can imagine pushing against and so on, enough engaging that it occupies it. There is also air, but I don't really bother with doing air.
How did this come about, Kasina? And what is it used for?
It's used for creating a strong concentration. Samatha, and strong concentration leads to calm. So any time that you repeatedly take one thing as an object over and over and over again, this sequence of the same object is concentration. It's sequential repetition of the same identical object that causes a wake behind it of calm mind states. Whereas if you think sort of, hey, Birmingham, hey, New York, sort of a steamship line, a helicopter, the film I saw last night, hey, Leonardo DiCaprio, all those things have got buzz, this different flavour and different buzz. So the mind is always leaving a kind of shaky wake behind it. But when you line it up and keep repeating the same thing over and over again, you build up calm temporarily. As soon as you take away the object, we're off again. But during the time we're powering the mind into concentric energy, like that. Concentrate rather than flying out. It's building up concentration like that. And then the four material ones, air, earth, fire and water, give the busy mind that likes something to work on is more dense. And then the colour ones are subtler. It's just a subtler. It's like you're basically going through a rainbow spectrum. But and you could just do it as a rainbow spectrum. You can just imagine a field of red, yellow, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, and then light. That would be like one way to do it. It's like a rainbow spectrum. But this just gives it form as well, so it's slightly denser, slightly less subtle. And then no form at all. There's a space around. You can do it with just visualizing this room, and then infinity of space. If you took like an architectural drawing program where you've got sort of infinity directions, but then you build a model within it. Okay, but then you take the model away, you just left with all the infinite directions, and then slightly even subtler than that, and subtler than that. You just get subtler and subtler and subtler and subtler. So those are the kind of heavenly realms. You just get subtler and subtler and subtler and subtler. And then you crash back down again, back to normal. So it temporarily suspends in a very pleasant way. So the Buddha recommended it because it's a temporary suspension of hassle.
What does a temporary suspension do to your body?
What's that?
What does it do to your body? And what are the advantages people might probably get from it?
Well, when you're visualizing things such as old girlfriend and your father, or sort of like the worrying future, that's releasing adrenaline. It's releasing anxiety hormones, and that's all wearying, and it's draining. And that's what people are doing most of the time. You know, they're thinking of business and profit and gain and loss and worry and the future and the past and the future and the past, and they're always out. So this is in the present moment, so it gives the brain a rest. So it's uncomplicated as well. There are many things which is complicated. All those things we're looking at in psychotherapy, they're all complicated, they're worrying, you know.
So to just make everything in life simple again, basically.
Yeah, for a period of time, you just have a way, at least a means that you know about, where you can simplify the content of the mind, and then the structure of the mind as well. The structure of those thoughts is very, very simple. So it gives the mind a rest, you know, and brings it back together again. I mean, we originally start off with quite a simplified mind, and it gets messy later on. So you put it back into a unified, composed, collected state. And that's one definition of concentration as well. So it's collected and composed, well composed. There's not many things that do that. You learn one recipe, you don't know so many others. You know, how many phone numbers there's, or how many programs, download an app, and, you know, the laptop drive you mad. You know, never ending.
Simplify everything, and after that, your mind is clear and you're free to do. I mean, you're limitless, basically.
Yeah. So the two things, there's calming meditation like that. That's called samatha, and then there's insight meditation, which is to do with learning ways to dissolve the duality of the self, the subject and object division. So it can begin by having a very simple object and then merging with it, like we're doing during that concentration. So you get unification with the object. So if you try to do that with a person and fall in love with them or something like that, it can get really messy and complicated and everything. But not with this. So you can become one with the object and so on and that. But then when we do it, go down into the body and rising, falling and sweeping throughout the body and dissolving, actually all during that time you are getting a very dissolved self-state, you know, a very non-dual self-state, but empty, and you come back together again without any complications. And during that time also you can release and dissolve a lot of habit in that time, because a lot of habit is built on the I, me, my things, you know, done in waking state. So the two alternate, calm and insight, calm and insight. And calm is to get concentration and calm and clarity and calm, but it's temporarily making desire and anger and apathy and restlessness and doubt fall away, just because of the sheer simplicity of it, that you forget all those things. They can't all have the two things in the same time, mind at the same time. In insight meditation, like rising and falling, when you're much more open awareness, that the doubts and all those things can come in, but you can watch them without identity, so that they get released off from that sense. So you can observe, you know, without anyone really observing it in that sense. So you become like a very big empty vessel, and then a lot of habitual things can come and go, and they can get uncoupled and undone, and you can get liberation from that sense.
This is something. What can you recommend to regular people like us?
This?
To do this all the time.
Yeah. The two habits, to be able to do jhana practice like we're doing with the kasinas, or even just on the nose, excellent, daily. If you do that for a year or something, every day, it's like any form of, you know, gymnastic building. You get the habit and it gets second nature, it gets easier, and it's less of a struggle, and you notice that you're able to do sort of up to 10 or up to 20 and hold the thing in mind very clearly, and whereas at first it might be difficult. So you build up and you reinforce the circuits which create that, and then you get the benefit of it, which is a much more clearer mind and much less neurotic, restless, jumpy, doubtful mind. You know, it's the mind that's sort of thinking, you know, will I be, won't I be, was I, who was I, you know, did I used to be, is that the real me? All those kind of things, you know, just through the action of dissolving and the action of replacing with healthier objects in the mind, simpler, you know, less troublesome objects, the two things, those two benefits. One is to dissolve and get more transparent and less obsessional thinking, compulsive thinking, and refreshed time, mental time. But that's the main whole thing of the whole practice is these two things: calm and insight. Developing skill in calm, so it's a predictable, reliable thing that you can do and obtain as your main dwelling, calm, and insight, so you predictably can get more and more insight into how it works, and also how, by unentangling, you also get to understand how a lot more troublesome pain gets created through the reverse of all this stuff. Big ego building, or division building. Once you've got a very strong ego, you get strong dislikes and strong likes. So the three work together. By dissolving the ego, through seeing this impermanence, and non-self moments, that they really can have them, then the habitual hate, aversions, hates and angers get much weakened. They don't have root, they don't have ground to stand on. And habitual desires, whether identified or they're just compulsive, get weakened as well. So generalisation. That's good.